Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the small workbench. Now what I'm going to try and do is to take the battery out of this vape and then put it into this quadcopter and see if it can fly it. That's the overview. And recently I got given this. It's not mine, I was given the thing. I'm not quite sure how to take it apart, but I think I'll do a shout out here to Granted as an Old Man, because I'll probably watch a couple of his videos and see how he generally does things. I think this end just sort of twists out or something. But there should be a Lipo in there. And here's here's a dead battery actually, but it's got the right kind of connector on. It'll fit on to the bottom of this quad. It's a Furry F36, some years old. And I've not flown it because I ran out of batteries. They went flat and they puffed up and whatever. So instead of buying some, I thought, oh, I wonder if I can try a vape battery. I don't know what size it's going to be in here. I don't know if the whole thing's going to work. But that's the idea. So the first thing, take this apart and see about what kind of battery is inside. I've just tried to twist with all my might on the end of this. It's not coming off. I'm going to have to get some pliers and do that. But I have noticed on the end it's got USB-C connector. So I'm going to use that circuit to charge the Lipo up when I do get the thing apart. I didn't know that though, but yeah, it's got USB-C on the end of it. That's handy. I've just found out off camera, instead of twisting, I simply pushed and this has now come loose. So, right, that's come off. Okay, I can probably get inside there now. And what's that thing? I'll lift that out next. Yeah, some kind of rubberized gloopy thing. I don't know. But next, anyway, that's how it looks next there. So I'll get the pliers again and try and pull that bit out. Well, yeah, all I'm getting is gloopy stuff. You can see it on the end of the pliers, and I think that must be the remainder of the liquid, the vape stuff itself from in there. That's what I think I'm in now. I think I'll change my attention to the bottom here and see if this end will come out instead, because that's not moving. Okay, by the use of several tools and entirely too much force, I've managed to get this part loose. And it is attached to a couple of wires that seem to be pulling on a Lipo. I'm not entirely sure, and I'm going to be very careful with this. Well, no amount of careful and gentle fettling around would move that piece on the left here. So I carefully and gently hit it with a hammer. And now it's loosened up some. Of course I did it outside in case of anything untoward. But now it means I can get the pliers on that end and should be able to remove that section. Haha, there we go. So that end is now out, so I should be able to, well, probably I'll use this from the other side and push the battery actually through. Right, so there we are, it's all apart now. And what we've got is the USB charging section there. Of course we've got the battery here, and then on the end of there was where the heater element would be. But this bit I thought was the bit that senses, when you take a drag of it, when you try and pull with your mouth. But it's underneath this rubberized cap, and then of course you've got the battery in the way. I presume it still works. But I also presume I can get rid of this little bit, such that the correct wires to charge the battery are all that are left. Now I've cut that rubberized piece away, and you can see the battery now, 300 milliamps, and it's actually quite heavy. Normally I think it's a 150 that goes in these, so it'd be twice the weight. I'll have to see if it works. It's going to be half the fun. But yeah, it's a 300 milliamp. It's quite the size. I thought I'd better check that it does charge. I'll plug the USB-C into it, and yeah, the red light's come on. Well, there was a massive fly in the ointment. I found out the F36 doesn't work. So I tried it with camera quad. It worked, seemed to work on that, but I thought this thing's already too heavy. Then there was this one, which I don't even know what board's on that. I'm going to have to find out at some point. It didn't bind to any controller I've got. And then I found this one here, which is just bare, but did sync up with this controller. So now I've got the battery just dangling there, and we've at least got a chance. So the next thing to do is to put an elastic band around it, hold the battery on, and then take it outside for a fly. Oh dear, so then problem number 2 came around. When I put the battery on and I put the band round, of course it's at too high. There's no way that the quad was going to sit level on the ground. So what I've done now is I've snipped off where another type of battery used to go in, so now this will sit lower and does actually now allow the quad to sit straight on the ground. Oh my. Okay, let's go. Alright, the elastic band is on. Let's give this a little go. Oh yeah. Oh cool. There we are, it's still clinging on. Red light's not flashing or anything, still plenty of power left after a good 2 or 3 minutes. It's doing really well. All this flying and the red light is still on, it's just started to flicker. So that's about the flight time. I'd say a good 5 or 6 minutes. I'm very pleased. Well, that was fantastic. Really pleased with it. And yeah, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time.